you're saying it has a totality for you in a kind of paralysis or something, or a permanence or something like that.
Like, I think I've been just through such a horrible experience, and I think for you to be so selfish as to not just once but twice opt for defending yourself instead of like trying to just read the energy of the conversation instead of just focusing on the words, to discern in that way.
Right.
The fact that you wouldn't do that.
You know, yesterday.
The fact that I even have to explain right now in such great detail what I mean, means that you, in my opinion, you're not a very spiritually mature person.
Not sensitive.
Yeah, not sensitive and also not spiritually mature. Because if you could discern energetically,
right,
that a conversation, that you're very left brain to an extreme fault like nothing I've ever witnessed, and that means that you just focus on the words that are spoken instead of reading the energy. You can speak in an intense way. If the energy is good, that means that the words that are spoken are nothing more than a tool of communication, and you don't seem to understand that somehow. And so yeah, I just for you to act that way in the face of what I've experienced, I mean, all I can say is I can't imagine ever doing that if I was in your shoes. I also would never spawn offspring, but I can't imagine the sort of like carelessness, that it would take to do that. And so, it's just beyond me. It's just beyond any sort of form of reasoning that I can. It's like you'd sooner defend yourself and try to empathize with someone who's been through a lot, and all those times you pretend to empathize, you're just lying. And so, yeah, I guess it's turning a new leaf. It's reawakening, my reasons for that falling out and all that stuff, and yeah,
So yeah, you're kind of confirming everything you felt and believed.
Yeah,
About me, yeah.
But with that said, I've also learned a lot about, Margita, so.
Yeah. Wow, those are tough messages. I just, I respect your saying these things, that's your deep truth, and that's a really hard message for me to hear.
Yeah, well.
It's a very tough message.
You say it's a tough message, but it can mean anything. I can't read your mind but the
painful message. It's a painful message.
But whatever that would mean for you. But the point is, if if I hadn't said anything, I'd be waiting, sitting up there, just eating snacks and watching TV, and just my mind in agony while you're cooled off and just already from the argument from yesterday, and then it's that sort of, I think, disregard of what other people are going through. It really gets at me. And so also explains in part why when you say stuff like, oh, you know, it really makes me feel a lot of pain instinctually. I feel like when you say that stuff, you're lying. Because if you had the capacity to feel like that, you would, your mind would be like very spry in terms of like knowing how to react to things, preventing situations that could, you know, devolve into something that would be perceived as being painful, you know. But it's always after the fact that I hear you saying stuff like, you know, this is really painful for me, what you're saying right now.
Yeah, well, in my own wiring or temperament is not helpful for your rhythm. I see that. I don't delve into things in ways that are helpful to you.
It's not that you don't delve into things the right way, it's that you, in light of the context, you respond to things in ways that are morally irresponsible, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Kind of thoughtless and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And then you forget about what happened, which would lead someone to think that it's, you know, all you care about is your own hide. I just can't imagine that type of mentality where you'd you know, I would just look at what's on the surface and not look what's beneath the surface. Just,
One of
I
the
can't imagine. I don't understand parents and sort of the moral ambivalence of parents and sort of why you and Margita have to be any kind of presence in my life. Even if I was living in Fiji, I had enough money to just live in Fiji forever, you know. Even then, you know, if you and Margita were living a life in my memory, that would you'd still be occupying a presence in my life, right? So, why? The question is why? What is it about you and Margita that's so special that it has to dominate my perception so drastically and dramatically? The only answer I can think of is, you know, you don't do something like have children or get married out of sheer, fear of loneliness.
Well, leaving, you know, I mean, I think we all undergo journeys of leaving our parents and distancing ourselves from them. It's sort of a necessary life force.
You're not even
So,
listening to me.
well, I'm trying to say that there is a disconnect. I think there is a disconnect, in a sort of a journey, and mine obviously had particular disconnects. So, I mean, I have had, in terms of, let's see, it says since you and I have been around each other now these last months, I have a real cautiousness or a kind of a tentativeness because I don't want to.
Cautiousness, yeah, yes, and yeah, And yet you respond the way you did yesterday, in a way that was unnecessary, so I just want that, right?
Yeah. But I want to do the right things on your behalf and for you and just in your presence. So but I am very uncertain about what is asked of me in our context now. And in moving forward, that's a real source of confusion for me. So I'm sure you're picking up all my.
So it's a source of confusion for you, and you're the one who has kids without, realizing why.
Well, we choose, or I think we do take risks in life, and and they're not always unambiguous. They can come with ambiguity and with unwelcome parts.
So that's a risk. That's how you see it. You took a risk.
No,
you understand that you deserve to be under serious scrutiny and questioning and even interrogation in terms of the decisions you've made about marrying Margita and having kids. You're the only person I'll ever meet who's as quote unquote professional as you and as ambivalent, and also as ambivalent about why you make the decisions you do. Because you've I think done more damage than you can realize, and now it's just like everyone you meet is just a character in your life, including myself, and that's not right. I think there's a tyranny situation going on here, and it has to be addressed,
If there's sort of a massive or a radical insensitivity, that's a hard thing to break out of. I can see that you're very totally not believing that can happen. I'm trying to find a way forward in a way that is honoring you and so I don't have a lot of know-how about that or conclusions about that I don't think it's that easy for all of us to sort of figure out what's next and what's the right